Hello, my name is Angela Carrillo.
And my name is Ixel Sonoki, and we are both researchers in the field of pedagogy. Welcome all of you teachers or future teachers. In this video podcast, we will talk about the experiences of some teachers.
As a super special guest, we will have the honor of sharing this space with the teachers Alina Aguilar, Fernanda Luna, and Brenda Thompson. All three have graduated from Vicenes and have a good record in the schools they have been to.
We hope that this session is to your liking and that the experiences shared here will be of benefit to your teaching practice.
The first special guest that accompany us is nothing more and nothing less than the teacher Alina Aguilar from Heriberto Aja Elementary School, with a teaching career of 8 years and is currently working as director of the campus. Welcome, teacher. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure that you have invited me, and I will gladly answer all the questions and doubts you have.
Our second guest of honor is Miss Fernanda Luna, with a career of more than 12 years at the Ramon Lopez Velarde Primary School. Welcome, teacher. It's a pleasure you join us.
Thank you to you for giving my opportunity to be here and share all my experience of these years that I have been working.
And our third and last guest of honor is Mrs. Brenda Thompson, with a 10-year career at Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz Elementary School. Welcome, Miss. It's a pleasure that you are with us.
Oh, thank you very much for having invited me. I'm very eager to share my experience in this beautiful profession.
Now we are going to start with our video podcast. One of the first topics to be discussed will be, how did you decide to be teacher? What was it that led you to that decision? I would like to hear Miss Brenda first.
Well, mainly it was because I want to make a change in society. I like the idea of directing to new generations to a better future where they will live happily and comfortably. Another reason was because I like to help young children learn new things, like reading, counting, and doing science experiments.
They are truly keen reasons. Most of those who want to be teachers have ideals similar to yours, Miss. Now, we would like to hear you, Miss Aline.
My reasons were almost the same as those of Mr. Brenda, but unlike her, I want to try children capable of forming critical reasoning from an early age. And what better way than to do in primary school, where they are eager for knowledge. The decisive moment in my career when was at advisor a little brother of a friend. That's when I knew that I want to be a teacher because I feel comfortable explaining and teaching the child.
Wow, that was amazing. It must have been a very satisfying moment when she found out. Now, we would like to know the experience of Miss Fernanda.
Well, at first I wasn't really sure that I wanted to be. I had so many ideas, but many of them filled me up completely. I took several vocational tests and they resulted in touching so that too high I got here. The dice for the professional developed with the school practice on the other experience in the school.
Cool, that's something totally different, but it's good too. We don't all have the same motivation at the beginning. Now, we will move on to the questions about the experience they have had within the schools. The first question is for Miss Aline, and it says, had you ever worked as a team with another teacher, like in some cultural event?
Yes, I had. I had worked with a partner, but it was not pleasant because he doesn't know how to work in a team. Well, the other teacher got himself an air of superiority, which did not make it possible to share ideas between them. And he wants to do everything in his own way. This has many problems in the realization of the science exhibition project, despite everything the project was achieved. Yes, with a lot of effort and patience.
There's importance of knowing how to develop two areas of companionship, since this career demands a lot of it. And what Mr. Alina tells us is very interesting, as well as parent now mentioned that says that teaching teamwork above all in a human profession is to share the part of madness of each one.
Sure, this is what this profession is about, because without companionship we get nowhere. Now, the next question is for Miss Fernanda, and this is something that has happened to almost everyone at some time. Miss Fernanda, had you ever fought with the parents of the children?
No, I hadn't. I had never fought with parents, but I had some problems with the disagreement problems with the setting homework and material, etc.
I had them too. In my school, there are many parents who don't want to send money for posadas and still want to take their children and eat cake. That's yet mad of me for leaving their kids without celebrations, but what else can I do?
I know it usually happens and more when they are school in privileged school.
You are correct. It's very difficult to deal with parents like this, more because they believe they are correct.
So, teacher, don't take out of your pockets. Well, now we will move on to another question. This is for Miss Brenda, and say, had you ever must do an activity with your group outside of the school due to the condition of the facilities?
Yes, I had. The past week I had done an activity that consists of going out to the patio to investigate the different types of leaves to do an almanac. It was very entertaining because the students had fun and explored a place that was not the school.
Cool, that is a great didactic strategy, because children get bored of the same things. They are always looking for new experience and are willing to do new things. Let's go with another question. This one goes to Miss Aline and says, had you already had any problems with a student with he/she participation in some activity within of the school, like in a festival or cultural activity?
No, I hadn't. I had never had problems in this case. The only drawback is organizing the group to know what will be done. It's normal, that students have different ideas and they all want to do what they say. For this case, I recommend writing down on the board a brainstorming.
Another strategy to organize the group is to do a lottery where everyone puts their ideas on a piece of paper and the teacher is the one who gets the look.
Those are great strategies that Mrs. are saying. I hope our listeners can apply them at some point. Now, we go with another question. This is for Miss Fernanda. Have you been passing trouble situations during your business career?
I have been through troublesome situation during my business career. A few were by classmates with shared or different points of view.
Me too, Mr. Fernanda. I have been through troublesome situations, a fear of not turning in my assignments on time or not wearing my fall uniform on Mondays. So I recommend that you wear your full dress uniform on Flag Honors Mondays.
And school practice too, in your badge.
These are really good advices. If you want to study in business, you must have vocation, and motivation. Well, let's pass to the next question. This is for Miss Brenda, and it says, have you had any difficulties to work with a problematic school in where you are involved with bullying or racism?
Yes, I had. I had been to a trouble school with racism once 2 years ago. The kid had descendant Jackie and the classmates of the school they were very rude to him. So the principal and I decided to do a small talk with his classmates and he. And we arrived to conclusion of being more keenly with he and be more inclusive.
How awful. The good thing was that they acted on the mother and did not let it grow anymore because if not another story will be.
And you, Miss Fernanda, had you had problems like this?
Yes, I have. I had problems like this, but mostly they were due to this disability, such as deaf mute children in a wheelchair or with visual impairment.
And you, Miss Aline?
I had them too. In my school, there are many parents who don't want to send money for posadas and still want to take their children and eat cake. That's yet mad of me for leaving their kids without celebrations, but what else can I do?
That's awesome. We have the responsibility to make good environments for children. Well, we have another question for Miss Brenda. Had you ever been to a school that had so many financial problems, so much lack of resources?
Yes, I had. I had been in school during my internship when I was still a student at the Vicenes with money necessaries. This school is located on the outskirts of the city. You will imagine how poor it was. He had almost no houses around, so many of the children were late in the early hours because of the distance they traveled. He did not have air conditioning or a God-shady playground. He was extremely poor and needy.
Really? Oh Jesus, that's horrible. They should send aid or do activities to raise funds for the school and be able to improve it. Well, this is a possible solution. And well, we have to pass to the next and last question. This is for all of you. And it says, do you have any advice for those who want to enter in Vicenes?
Yes, I had. I had worked with a partner, but it was not pleasant because he doesn't know how to work in a team. Well, the other teacher got himself an air of superiority, which did not make it possible to share ideas between them. And he wants to do everything in his own way. This has many problems in the realization of the science exhibition project, despite everything the project was achieved. Yes, with a lot of effort and patience.
That's right, teacher. I also recommend that you prepare yourself psychology because if you enter the business, you will have to do a lot craft and you will deal with human beings above all.
And remember, for this job you need a lot of patience and patience to teach the new generations. They will not only talk and explain the subject, but they will also deal with family, cultural, psychological aspects, etc.
Nice! That is interesting and very informative. And remember that we have duty to educate and commitment to trusting. Thank you very much, dear teacher, for coming to chat and share your experiences with us.
You're right, your companion. We must always keep that phrase in mind. And I also want to thank and congratulate our guests today. It was very entertaining and enriching talk. I am sure that our listeners enjoy it a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and finally, I want to thank all of you for having listening to us today. We hope to have other new guests next time. See you later, alligator.